You're watching the Daily Dodge Pregame Show.
Welcome into Beaver Dam Wrestling. Beaver Dam's going to be taking on Watertown here shortly. We're watching the end of the JV match right now. Wrestling on Daily Dodge TV is presented by Napleton 151, JB Mechanical, the U.S. Army Recruiting Center, Gruber Law Office, McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Columbus Family Dental, Hometown Glass and Improvement, Kladowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Pizza Ranch, Park Village Shopping Center, Richards Insurance, Preferred Dental Partners, Napleton 151, Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly, Gruber Law, Air Care, Jerry's BP, Silica for your home, Moraine Park Technical College, Beaver Dam Unified School District, White Construction, and Spartan Flooring. Make Moraine Park Technical College your first choice for an education tailored to your success and growth, with campuses in Beaver Dam, Fond du Lac, and West Bend. Visit morainepark.edu/first choice. Be sure to stay up to date with Beaver Dam Unified School District at bdusd.org and follow them on Facebook and Instagram at Beaver Dam USD. Beaver Dam is going to be entering tonight 1-0 on the season after taking down Oregon 41-30 last week. It's alumni night here at Beaver Dam. We're going to be celebrating some former wrestlers here shortly. But before that, we are going to step aside for a 4-minute break and then get an interview that Wade sat down and talked with Coach Winker for just a little while ago. You are watching wrestling on Daily Dodge TV, and we will be back in about 4 minutes with that interview.
Your Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam knows that Wisconsinites take tailgating seriously, and they'll help you take it to the next level with their award-winning Fox Brothers brats and everything you need, whether you're at the game or enjoying it at home. Fox Brothers award-winning exclusive recipes use only the highest quality ingredients you'll taste with every bite and every brat. Try their 11 Grand Champion brats and sausages, including their pre-cooked Fox Brothers original brats, spicy Southwest chicken brats, and Philly cheese brats. Check them out online at foxbrospigglywiggly.com.
Cheer. Now cheer louder. Any accomplishment worth doing is worth doing with all your heart and soul. The entire team at Hometown Glass and Improvement knows that dedication, time, and respect can lead to greatness. When practicing free throws, running for a touchdown, or installing new windows and doors, it is commitment to something larger than oneself that creates a legacy. So keep cheering for your hometown team. Hometown Glass and Improvement online at hometownglass.com.
Are you ready for peace of mind? Chad Guzzi here, owner of Air Care in Beaver Dam. If you're tired of unexpected repair bills, you want to sign up for our Total Care plan. It ensures top performance and prolonged life of your heating and air conditioning equipment. Air Care's Total Care customers receive annual inspections as well as a reduced maintenance rate.
There's power in your
plus
smile.
a 10% discount on all service repairs. Air Care, big enough to serve you, small enough to care. 920-356-8860.
There's power in your smile. It can make or break a day, start a conversation, even double a dose of courage. Columbus Family Dental is committed to protecting your grin ear to ear. Young and old, orthodontics to cosmetics, we're here to make it that much easier to share your smile. Columbus Family Dental, now accepting every kind of smile.
Jerry's Automotive in Beaver Dam is a champion of our local schools. Team up with Jerry's Automotive by pumping your gas at their Spirit Pump, where 2 cents of every gallon is donated to a local school each month. Jerry's Automotive also provides exceptional vehicle service and repairs and a great selection of convenience items. Visit Jerry's Automotive Center WI.com and on Facebook. Jerry's Automotive, 700 North Spring Street in Beaver Dam, across the street from Beaver Dam Food Pride.
The gang's all here. Chris,
Adam,
and Abby Klodowski here to say Klodowski Real Estate is honored and grateful to have been voted Dodge County's best real estate firm, best realtor, and favorite realtor for 2024.
we love living and working in Dodge County, all of the wonderful people we serve, and the opportunity to give back to our community.
Thank you, Dodge County. Thank you.
Klodowski Real Estate, your trusted real estate advisors.
Are you ready to score big on home comfort? Cheer on our area athletes with McKinstry's Home Furnishings. From plush recliners to luxurious sofas, stylish bedroom sets to cozy area rugs, and all the accessories you need to make your home a winner. Whether you're outfitting your man cave or upgrading your living room with MVP style, McKinstry's has you covered. Game on with McKinstry's Home Furnishings, where winning starts at home.
Year after year, McKinstry's.
When it comes to a winning lineup, turn to the selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam. Their team goes the extra mile to provide a winning experience, from hassle-free financing options to exceptional customer service. It's like having a dedicated cheering section cheering you on in every step of the vehicle purchase. Give the team at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam a call at 920-885-3301 or visit napleton151.com and find new roads with their winning inventory.
You're watching the Daily Dodge Pregame Show.
The Beaver Dam High School wrestling team has their season off and running, and we're going to bring in head coach Tim Winker right now. Coach, you've got a week of, I guess, official competition under your belt, and your squad's getting ready for some matches this weekend. Just your overall thoughts on what you've seen from your team as they got ready for this year.
I mean, we were bringing a big portion of our lineup back from last year, so that's always good to see. We're got a lot of really good seniors in our lineup this year, mixed in with a lot of very talented underclassmen. So it's always exciting when you're looking at a squad that's bringing a lot of returners back that were pretty talented in the past.
We'll have the boys match on Friday night on Daily Dodge TV, Coach. Just, I guess, what are expectations for the boys team? What are your expectations right now for this squad?
I mean, we certainly should be able to compete for a conference title this year. Hoping to be able to crack into the postseason a little bit, see how far we can advance. So, should be an exciting year, and hopefully we can do pretty well as a team.
Well, Coach, can we talk about your wrestling team this year? Let's just traditionally start from the lower weight and move up. Can you kind of talk about your weight classes? And one of the cool things about your team this year is you've got competition at a lot of these positions, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, the competition's good. It makes everybody get better at practice because you got guys pushing each other. On the other side of it, it gives you depth if you run into injuries, which has a tendency to happen in a wrestling season. You have guys that could fill in and keep your lineup really solid. So 106, we're returning Preston Hammond from last year. 13, 20, and 26 will probably be some incoming freshmen. A bunch of our freshmen that coming in this year are very talented. So we're really excited to have them on the mat this year and competing at a varsity level and hopefully turning great results for us. 132, we have Avery Femright, who's a returning state place winner. So that's always nice to have in a lineup, knowing there's not many kids in the state that can compete with someone like that. 38, right now we're filling in with Keith Najeru. He's a senior, been in the program for a couple of years. And then I think in the next few weeks, we'll have some guys moving down with the weight allowance over Christmas. But at 144, we have Rylan Burwitz, who's a very talented wrestler. He was actually stuck behind a couple of our better wrestlers last year on JV. But we're excited to get him into a varsity lineup full-time this year. 150, Liam Grunwald is a senior, had a lot of experience last year on varsity. 157 is going to be Dylan Hahn, who was varsity again, much like Rylan. Was a starter 2 years ago for us, but last year just kind of got stuck behind with some of our better wrestlers and wrestled JV most of the year. And then we really start hitting the best part of our lineup at 165. We have Easton Warden, who had just kind of had a bad day at sectionals last year and probably could have been a state qualifier, but just missed out. So he'll be at 165. We also have Colton Schultz, who was returning state qualifier. He'll be at 165. And then 175, we've Landon Groh, who's, another kid that just missed out on qualifying to state last year. He's a junior. At 190, we have Gavin Vitens, who was had a tough day at regionals last year, so ended up in a tough match first round at sectionals. But again, another guy that we think could be a state qualifier this year. Mason Groh at 215. For the last 3 years has been placing the top 4 at sectionals, just hasn't been able to get over the last hump and get to the state tournament. And then at heavyweight, we'll probably be bumping one of our extra 215-pounders up. We got 2 juniors in Thomas Jacobs and Malachi Richter Horton that we're excited for both of them to continue to compete and work throughout the year. And we'll fill in heavyweight between Mason and one of those guys filling in between 215 and heavyweight. So a lot of returning guys, a lot of talent on the mat, a lot of talent in the practice room, and just excited to see him continue to, butt heads in practice and continue to get better.
We're talking with Beaver Dam wrestling coach Tim Winker here. Coach, what do you think the MO of this squad is? It still early? Can you kind of get a feel of the personality of this year's wrestling team?
Yeah, I mean, they're all really hardworking, hard-nosed kids, and that's obviously a must in the sport of wrestling. It's not too much of a trying to be cute about things. You just got to go out there and get the job done. So pretty much any wrestling team, you're hoping to have a gritty, hardworking group. So, and I'm really glad those are the kind of kids we got in the room and the kind of kids that we put out on the mat every week.
Coach, who are the challengers? Who are the teams that are supposed to be contending again this year in the Badger Conference?
Wanakee and Milton are always 2 of the top teams. They just have a great program, always bring in good numbers and quality kids. So those are 2 of the teams that I'm, you're always looking at the most. Watertown just came off of team sectionals last year. Just lost out at Hartford to go into team state. I think they graduated a few, but they still have a solid core of returning wrestlers. And then we just wrestled Oregon last weekend, and Oregon's another program that's pretty young. They got a lot of really nice young wrestlers at the lighter weights. But they'll be interesting to see how they do by the end of the year as they get those kids to continue to improve.
Well, Coach, Watertown on Friday night against Daily Dodge TV. Is this weekend Alumni Night?
That is this Friday. This Friday we'll be hosting Alumni Night. So any former wrestling alumni managers want to come out and get recognized, if they can show up by 6:30 so we can get their names down. And at 6:45, we'll try to announce all their names, get them out on the mat, and thank you for their contributions to the history of this program over the years.
Can we put a singlet on a couple of them and see if they can still go at it?
I'm guessing most of them we don't want to see them in a singlet anymore.
How big is it opening up the season with Watertown, I guess, for your home schedule coming up on Friday night with the Goslings coming to town in a huge early season matchup?
Well, Watertown's the team that traveled with us from the disintegration of the Little 10 into the Badgers. So they've been a career-long rival for Beaver Dam. So to be able to have that duel and, for them to travel the 20-25 minutes from Watertown to Beaver Dam and probably travel with a good fan base, it's going to be exciting. And hopefully the gym is loud and it's an exciting duel. So it's kind of a perpetual rivalry from across the years.
Well, Coach Winker will be on the air right around 6:45 on Friday night for Beaver Dam High School Boys Wrestling in Watertown on Daily Dodge TV. Coach Winker, thanks for the time.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Wade.
The winter weather can play havoc on your hands and hair. Fear not, the folks at Wonder Nails and Spa has just a ticket for you. Call 887-4374 and let them pamper you. Let them chase away those winter blues. Let's talk hair. Long, beautiful hair, shining, Whoa, I digress. The team of cost cutters will put a shimmer and shine to your mood, and their retail products are the best in the business. Call 885-0437 today. That's why you hear everyone say, I shop Park Village Shopping Center, and you should too.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we'd like to thank our Swedish friends for bringing the buffet to America. They called it the smorgasbord, but it was a success anyway. So we started our own buffet and loaded it up with pizza, chicken, sides, salads, and cactus bread. And you can even request any pizza you want anytime you visit. We call it Buffet Your Way, because smorgasbord your way, well, that doesn't rhyme at all. Pizza Ranch.
Check out your local Pizza Ranch in Beaver Dam, Watertown, or Waupun, or check out pizzaranch.com.
Did you know that each person's teeth are as unique as their fingerprints? That's why at Preferred Dental Partners, we don't take a one-size-fits-all approach. Preferred Dental Partners takes the time to customize each person's treatment plan to fit their personal needs and offer options to help them achieve their dental health goals. So whether your dental needs are few or many, give Preferred Dental Partners a call at either our Horicon or Beaver Dam location to set up your appointment to create your own personalized care plan with our amazing team.
American drivers overpay an average of $368 per year on their auto insurance. Why? Because, well, insurance is hard. It's complicated. It's time-consuming to get quotes from multiple companies, so we overpay. Or we call Richards Insurance in Beaver Dam. Make one call and receive a quote from a great company like Auto Owners Insurance. The team at Richards Insurance will literally do all the work for you. So if you could be saving money each month with an Auto Owners Insurance policy, you'll know about it. How much will you save with Richards Insurance? To find out, call Richards Insurance or stop in at 123 North Spring Street, downtown Beaver Dam. With offices in Columbus, Watertown, West Bend, and Oshkosh. With over 50 employees and hundreds of years insurance experience across 5 offices, you'll get full-service counseling with no obligation. Your auto owner's insurance carrier is Richards Insurance in Beaver Dam. Call 887-1615.
We'll be there with you. Richards Insurance of Beaver Dam.
Play garage music. Silica can make any home a smart home. Whole home wiring, speakers, and smart control make your home an oasis that anticipates your every need. Whether you're seeking comfort, entertainment, peace of mind, inspiration, or just a moment of tranquility. Existing or new construction, Silica has the skill to make any home a smart home. Silica for your home.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Stop in and see everything that our store has to offer. We built it just for you. We have mattresses, box springs, power bases, bedroom sets, furniture, living room sets, dining sets, everything that you would need to complete your entire home. We've got our interest-free financing and a really great local staff here to help you. So you've got all local people here to help you out from start to finish for anything that you would need. So stop in, shop local, and save big with us.
You're watching the Daily Dodge pregame show.
Welcome back here to Beaver Dam High School. We have Beaver Dam wrestling action tonight here on Daily Dodge TV. Facing Watertown tonight, I'm going to hand us off now to Beaver Dam Athletic Director Ryan Gerber.
How you doing, Wally?
Oh, I couldn't be happier to be sitting next to you right now.
Well, welcome to Beaver Dam Wrestling, and we're very happy that you guys are covering this again and giving us the opportunity to showcase what a wonderful sport and a wonderful team we got here.
I can't wait to be a part of it. I told you I wrestled in high school, but I'm kind of still like in that elementary status, so I'm going to be picking your brain early and often tonight.
And you got a good one to see. You got a real nice rivalry matchup here between Watertown coming into Beaver Dam. This was a highly contested match last year that had conference implications. These two teams are going to see each other like they did last year down the stretch for a state bid for team. There's a lot riding on this match, head-to-heads, conference matchups, and this is how we're going to start our home series here. We got a lot of big matchups that we're going to be putting on Daily Dodges here, so I'm excited to have you with me.
I can't wait to be part of this and a part of more with you. And again, starting with a rivalry matchup like this, nothing feels like the heart more than rivalry in sports. And Watertown, it sounds like, is right there at the thick of it with Beaver Dam.
Right, and just to add a little bit of of nostalgia here. Our lead official here tonight, Chris Graziano, was a longtime head coach at Slinger, so when all three of these programs were in the Little 10, all three of these guys would have been going toe-to-toe with each other. So just a nice little nugget here as we get started. I'm excited to have Chris here as our official. It adds a little bit, like I said, nostalgic-wise. But Chris's son, Abe, was an assistant on my staff, and then after Chris stepped away from head coaching, he came down and helped us. So a lot of just little connections in the match even before we get started tonight.
Everything circles back. It feels like this is going to be a fantastic one tonight, Ryan. And I want to actually start with that and ask you a couple questions here. See a couple guys undefeated here still through 7 matches on the year for Beaver Dam. Who do you have your eyes on tonight?
Well, I think it starts with Avery Femright down at 132 pounds for the Beavers. He was a 6th-place finisher last year at the state tournament, really came on strong. Got banged up in football this year, so kind of coming back from that injury, but he started off hot with a 7-0 start. And then you look at our bigs up top. Easton Warden at 165 pounds, just narrowly missed out on a state bid last year. Gavin Vitens, who had a big football year, he started the year off at 7-0. He's going to have a really tough matchup tonight. And then at 215, Mason Groh, he's 6-1. He's had some tough competition. Will continue to have some tough competition, but he's another one to watch. Before we get into the match, though, I have to say, folks, we are desperate in this state for officials, not only in wrestling, but everywhere, but in wrestling especially. There's talk that we might not even have enough officials for regionals this year. So please, if you want to give back to the sport, if you want to stay active, please consider being an official. That doesn't mean you have to jump into varsity right away, but come help us out. Come be part of this sport again. Come help us provide something for the future. If you're a Beaver Dam or if you're in the area and you want help getting signed up, come see me here at Beaver Dam High School. I'll help you get set up.
Absolutely, yeah. We always need more officials in sport, and it's also a thing too. It's like for the parents, like remember what you're doing here, watching the game. This is supposed to be fun for everybody.
Yeah. So we're going to be starting out here at 144 pounds, and for the Beavers we have Keith Njaro, who's a senior, starting off the season at 0-4 on varsity. And he's taking on. I didn't get the wrestler, but I know Watertown's bouncing around. Joe Logan's usually here. He's bumping up to 150 pounds. And keep in mind with Keith with the takedown right away, you're noticing that the official's holding up 3, and that's a major change. There were some major rule changes this year in the sport of wrestling, came down from the National Federation, and of course Wisconsin adopted. One of the big ones is the takedown. No longer is a takedown worth 2 points. It's going to be 3 points. The college level has done that the last few years, and that's to encourage more offense, more takedown wrestling. So 3 points for a takedown. That's going to be a reversal. That's still 2 points. And big thing there, which you saw, Keith got the takedown, but didn't really get around all the way and didn't really get great control. And now we're in trouble here. A reversal leads into back points and a really quick pin in 59 seconds.
Just like that, 6-0 here for the Goslings.
So a little bit of gamesmanship here early, Wally. Both teams have bumped a couple people around. So Joe Logan, who's the head coach's son, Bob Logan's son, he bumped up from 144 to wrestle 150. In a similar move, the Beavers moved up Ryland Burwitz, who's listed at 144. He'll come up to 150. So you're seeing a match that would have normally been at 144, but because of some strategic moves that Watertown put into place, both guys are going to wrestle up a little bit, which makes no difference, right? You're going to wrestle each other anyways. What difference what we label the match at?
No, my question for you, for Beaver Dam, for instance, why would they make that adjustment instead of running pat with their guy at 150?
Well, one of the nuances you'll notice is which guy reports to the table first, right? So in the first match, Beaver Dam had to report first. That allowed Watertown to shuffle some guys around. This allows you to shuffle the deck a little bit, try to get more favorable matchups. However, in this situation, Watertown reported first in the second match. First in the second match, we had to report second there. That allows you to bump some people around. So it's gamesmanship. You're trying to catch the other coach off guard a little bit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it gets matched, and then there's always sometimes it doesn't work out.
Yeah, a little bit of games, before the game, so to speak.
Right. So just some hand fighting here. Had some action on the side of the mat. And the other thing I should mention as we're on our feet, one of the other rules that's been changed this year is the out-of-bounds rule. High school's gone to the college out-of-bounds rule where you only need 1 point of contact in from either wrestler. So you're going to see a lot more action on the side of the mat. If you've watched college wrestling the last few years, you notice that's added a lot of action, a lot of excitement. We're hoping to see it at the high school. Joe Logan gets in on a shot, deep shot. Rylan Burwitz on his butt here defending. You notice he's keeping that ankle. That prevents Logan from working up. He needs to continue to work this angle. And that's the other thing. If you can't get a reversal, you can't get escape, in that situation you're looking for stalemate there where neither guy can progress further, and that's a my apologies. I've been fighting a cough all week. That's the next best thing you can hope for in that situation is get to that stalemate with 10 seconds left in the first period. Nice pass by Logan with 3 seconds left in the first period. And so you might be saying that was a pretty slick move. Yeah, it was. You get that when your opponent's leaning in heavy. He's got his hands up on your shoulders. He's leaning a lot of weight forward. His momentum's coming towards you. It's just a quick little misdirect for a pass by.
With under 3 seconds there, too, if you are out here looking for that shot, what would you be doing if Beaver Dam? Do you feel like you would be more defensive there if you were him?
So what you kind of heard it. Coach Winker was yelling time 5. He was counting down the time. At that point, you don't want to force anything. You don't want to do anything silly to give up points there. So they were kind of hoping that Rylan would keep his positioning and just not allow anything to happen. Unfortunately, got heavy in a lean, and Logan took advantage of it. And you're seeing the first big difference from last year to this year, being down 3-0 as opposed to 2-0. That takedown, increasing that point total, really changes the strategy. Typically, we'd be looking at a 2-0 deficit here. A reversal would get it tied. An escape would cut it in half. Now being down 3, you're really looking at a 2-score situation here.
Forces you to be a little bit more aggressive if you are at this point being down 3-0.
Correct. You're going to have to work for it now. One reversal isn't going to do it. And so, you kind of look at what do you want to do here. A reversal alone doesn't get it all back. So you go back to what's the move that most people go to in this world in terms of wrestling. That's a stand-up. It's the thing that most people go to. So get to your feet, get one, get a takedown. You're up 4-3.
So it goes back to your point. It's just added incentive now for people to be aggressive, get takedowns, get that 3 points. It rewards you for actually taking those shots instead of stalling a little bit.
Correct. And as a coach, you're teaching your guys to be tough in the defense. So we're not giving up anything silly. We're not taking bad shots. We'll see that throughout the night. We got a stall call here on green. That would be Burwitz. You see Logan was working for a cradle there. Burwitz was just kind of holding on to the arm across his shoulder, trying to prevent that cradle from happening.
Now, in that position that he's in, though, on the ground, his legs extended, he's hunched over. What is he supposed to do there to avoid that stalling call?
Stretch out, get to your belly, work up to a base.
All right.
I mean, you've already put yourself in a position where you're already curled up, where you're in a position where the guy can grab for a cradle. So get back to a base and start working from there. Burwitz is going to be riding here in the third period. He's got points to make up here.
Now, would the strategy be just to let him stand up, get the escape, try to get a quick takedown, or is it more like, hey, let's get back points here?
Typically in a situation like this, you'd want to try to ride for about the first minute of the period. We're at a minute 30 to see if you can get a turn. Now with the near fall's the other piece that changed. Gone to the college near fall rule. 2 swipes on a near fall is 2 points. 3 swipes is 3 points. 4 swipes is 4. So if you can get a turn, you can make this point up. But if you ride high like he did and get reversed, now you're in a 5-0 deficit.
Now with a minute left, need a quick reversal, I imagine. Got to make something happen fast.
Well, at this point, it's going to be tough to get that 5 points unless you get a reversal in the near fall. 45 seconds. So, from a coaching standpoint, you don't want to get turned because you don't want to give up near fall. Interesting enough, the home crowd doesn't like it because they wanted a stall call on the top man, but the referee calls Burwitz with the stall, and his rationale is even though the top man's riding hips, we're just laying on the mat, and it said he was holding hands, holding his fingers, preventing the top man from wrestling further. And that, stalling is a judgment call. But if he's seeing that the bottom man's preventing the top from advancing and you're not wrestling, well, you're going to get called every time. So another stall call. Gave up another point. That's 7-0. Now, you could be saying, Coach got up and he applauded and he said, nice job. What's going on there? Logan's a good wrestler, and not giving up bonus points, not giving up a tech, major pin, that helps on the team score. So, you didn't win the match. We would have liked to have won the match. You always try to go out and win the match, but if you can't win the match, don't give up bonus points.
Keeps it to a single-digit lead for Watertown now at this point.
And I talked about this with Wade on Thursday, is what can the Beavers do to get bonus points? But at the same time, how do you prevent guys from getting bonus points and keep this really simple? So we go to 157 pounds. Liam Grunwald's going out there for the Beavers against Aiden Billiard. Billiard gets the early takedown. So we're on the edge of the mat. And again, normally this would have been off the mat in years past, but because of the new near fall rules, not only does this count for on the mat, but also he can get near fall there.
Just need that 1 point of contact at this point in the mat now.
And they always talk about the cylinder, and that's really what that outer circle is. You'll notice that Grunwald wasn't making contact with that, but his head was over it. That still counts.
Oh. So in theory, you could have no body part touching in the ring at this, or so to speak, but still be fine to consider it a point of contact just by that plane, kind of like in football.
In that situation, yeah, you're breaking that plane. Now on a takedown, yeah, you need a knee, a toe. In that situation, the ref's saying that you're above the cylinder, it works. Watertown so far has really shown through 3 matches, when they ride, they've done a really nice job getting to the wrist, really driving through with their hips, really putting a lot of pressure on the top. Beaver Dam needs to get hand control. They need to get that outside leg up, which Liam's trying to do to try to get to that stand up. And they need to fire up in this position. We're getting to our feet here. We got to bust our hips out. He does a nice job getting out. They kind of release us. It's 3-1 here. Back on the shot. I like the aggression, but he shot from such a distance that he wasn't able to get really any kind of grip there, so he's got to readjust here. You'll notice that Liam's on an outside tie here with his left hand. He's on the outside of the elbow. You really want to be on the inside in order to gain control here. That's a really nice shot by Watertown. Nice high C there. Trying to finish off to a double leg. Comes up to the body and takes him down to the mat. Takes that takedown right into a armbar situation there to finish the period. So Watertown's up 6-1 going into the second period. Watertown's going to choose neutral here. Again, as a reminder, you have 4 choices. You can go neutral, top, bottom, or you can defer to the third period. They want offense. They want points. So nice underhook into a high C there. Just didn't get balance, so Grunwald's able to defend there. He's staying on the leg. Being in that underhook there does us really not a lot of good. We wanted to stay on our sprawl, stay on that hip. We can still get behind. We need to drop his head. We're not doing a very good job of stuffing the head to the mat. If he stuffs the head to the mat, he's going to do good here. He's got to get that head down. See, he didn't push the head down. Just like football, if you can get your head up, you can get your hips up. If you get your hips up, you can drive. We got to get that head down. We've got to get those hips to the mat. Now we're on that ankle there. We're off to the side. This is a good spot. We've got him on a hip. We need to score here. You get a guy on his hip, you have to score. You can't let him off that hip. Reaching over the top here doesn't do you any good here. There, we got to drive. He's going to stack him up. That's points there. He's got him in a good situation here. 6-4, 54 seconds left.
Looked like he was trying to get that inside cradle for a second.
He stayed with it. It wasn't picture-perfect defense, but he stayed on that ankle. He stayed off to the side. He kept his hips in. He did enough there to continue to press the issue. I don't like guys jumping out in front there. If you got the takedown, stay behind, work from there. But he's got this guy broken down in it, and it just looks to me like the Watertown wrestler is a little bit tired there.
Now this goes back to that decision to stay up when you were up 5.
And we got a roll here. Grunwald's got a leg in. He's got a cross face. He's got to scrape that cross face to get near fall. He wasn't able to do it.
Just 10 seconds left here in the second round.
So it's going to be Grunwald's choice here. He's going to choose neutral. Love it. Love neutral wrestling. Love offensive wrestling. It's like in baseball. Chicks dig the long ball, right? Well, you got to like offensive wrestling. Take a good shot. We're not in a good position. We got to circle out of this. If we stay square here, we're not going to be in a good position. We got to circle out of this, get to a restart.
My question, I kind of got mixed up with that takedown in the second. When you're up 5 there, was that just a little bit over-aggression trying to get too many points from Watertown instead of deciding to either start on the bottom?
He didn't finish. I mean, I don't have a problem with it with the new rules and new point system. I have no problem with that decision. But you got to take a good shot. You got to be in good position. So we get a takedown here. We're up 7-6. It's been awarded. The referee's saying we're in position, but we got caught up in a roll position. Caught lazy with our hips. We're going back and forth. He's got a half. All we are is a half away. You got to have a half there. Now we're getting near fall. He's got his legs caught up, which isn't able to get him turned down. If he can get him turned down, he's going to get a pin here. He's got 54 seconds. He's got to post that arm away to flatten the Watertown wrestler out. Push that arm to the head, Liam. There it is. 44 seconds left in the third.
And Ryan, that feels massive. After that 6-1, they're already up 9-0 in this match.
Yeah.
To get a pin there when it looked like it was going to go the other way to start that match, that feels like a massive momentum change.
You know, that match went back and forth on positioning, maybe not necessarily with points, but in positioning. Guy shoots in, the other guy takes advantage. Other guy shoots in, other guy takes advantage. And even there, the last takedown, we were able to get a takedown, just better position. We got out of position in the top position. It ended up being a roll situation, but Guy stayed with it. Grunwald stayed with it, and good things happen when you show heart and you just keep going.
Well, let's hope they continue going here. It is 9 Watertown, 6 Beaver Dam as we enter our 4th match of the night.
And this is one of Beaver Dam's hammers here. Easton Warden, who again is undefeated on the season, 7-0. He's taking on Marlon Munoz, who's 5-1, so nice record out of the senior for Watertown. Watertown's up 9-6 in the team score here, so Beaver Dam would love nothing more than to get some bonus points here. But Munoz is wrestling tough. He's staying in front. He's looked for a couple slide bys there, but he's in good position on the head right there at the edge of the mat. Warden's a tough wrestler. He was had a great record coming into the sectional last year, and was just a match away. He came into the sectional last year as a first-place finisher at his regional, and just, unfortunately had a bad day at the wrong time of year. He's going to get a takedown here, go up 3-0. And this is where Warden's tough. Warden's very tough on the mat, so expect to see him looking for some back points. Just over a minute left in the first period here. It's 3-0 Warden. Beaver Dam in the Vegas gold singlet, of course.
I'm digging this look right now.
The Vegas gold, yeah. In the football team wore those jerseys. Coach White, who I don't think you've met yet, was the first to tell me, no, that's Vegas gold. That's not just any gold, that's Vegas gold. And just another little twist on the green and gold concept here.
Now, is that a choice, or is it just a matter of, hey, you know what, this is what we got for you, buddy?
This, because it's alumni night, you're going to see a number of different singlets out there tonight. So
that's cool.
The one cool thing about wrestling you see a lot of times is you aren't required everyone to wear the same singlet, and most coaches would say, well, you want everyone to look the same, right? Well, in wrestling, over the years, you acquire all these singlets, and there's some nostalgia there, and if they still fit and they still wear, why not put them on? So when I was coaching, Stoughton used to do this all the time. Each guy would have a different singlet on, and you hated it because it was Stoughton, but you appreciated the history, and I'm a big fan of if you can have one of these special nights and throw some nostalgia at the alumni that are in the crowd. Why not, right?
I absolutely agree with that. Again, plus you can't beat the Vegas gold. It's just a sharp look.
I think that's going to have to be a discussion topic on the damn sports show. Like, what is the best looking uniform that we have out here?
I'm going to have to figure it out because, man, I love the green and gold color scheme, and then you throw the Vegas gold in there too. There's too many great options.
Yeah. So it's going to be Watertown's choice at the end of the first period. They're going to defer to Beaver Dam, so they have choice in the third. Beaver Dam's going to choose neutral. So again, you asked a question earlier: is where does that come from? Well, because of the change in points, if you can get another 3 points here with a takedown, now you're up 6-0, and you're near fall away from major decision. It's a nice scramble little situation. Warden's going to come out backside here. He's got to get his hips away, come out through. Here's takedown right there. And again, now, in past years, this would have been a 4-0 match. Now you're up 6-0 with a chance to get a major decision here with a turn.
Just added incentive to be offensive and be aggressive out there.
Warden looking for a cradle here. He's doing a nice job coming across with a cross face. This is what we call a suicide cradle because you're rolling on your back to bring him over the top. As a coach, you hated it, but it always looks cool for the fans. So, you got to throw one for him, too.
As we look like we have an outside cradle about to be locked in.
And now we're throwing the leg in to stop the kick. 56 seconds, so lots of time. And see, what Munoz is doing is really nice. He's got that elbow in Warden's face. If he keeps that elbow in Warden's face, it's going to be very difficult to pin because you can't get that scapula all the way to the mat. But if that arm gets trapped underneath, now you're going to be looking for a pin.
And there you got it.
What do you know? It's almost like
you know what you're doing over here.
Trust me, there's plenty of people that said I didn't know what I was talking about.
I want to find out who they are.
So the Beavers have turned things around, and at this part of their lineup, that's really what they're looking for. This is where they're looking to gain some points, and they're hoping to pick up enough of a lead where in some of those swing matches, maybe you lessen that a little bit. So this part of the lineup is really where the Beavers have to make hay, and that starts here with Landon Grow.
The meat and potatoes here. In this part of you say probably want to stack this up, probably getting up towards that heavyweight, really put yourself in a good position once this thing wraps around?
Yeah, so, Landon Grow, and again, heart of the lineup here, Warden, Grow, you're going to see Vitens, who's going to have a real tough match coming up. Mason Grow, Landon's brother. This is really where they're going to make hay. Landon did a lot of wrestling over the summer, wrestling out in Fargo this summer. He's wrestling a freshman it's tough to be a freshman in this conference.
Yeah.
It's tough to be a freshman on the road under a mat lamp. It's tough to be a freshman wrestling land and grow. So, you already see, okay, we've got 2 takedowns. The match is 6-1 here.
And we're 15 seconds in.
15 seconds in. So 6-2, we're looking for takedowns. And again, this is what that 3-point takedown does. It encourages this type of wrestling, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you got a problem with offense, play defense.
My question for you is, once you are in a position where you can tell that, hey, I'm going to be able to take this guy down throughout the match, when does your attention change to this, the pin?
Before you get to attack.
Yeah.
You want to be careful because still you have that technical fall at 15 points. So you got to have that clock in your head. And that's why, when I coached, we always said we wanted to be 6-2 after the first period. That's 3 takedowns, 2 escapes. Well, now 3 takedowns, 2 escapes. That's 9-2. That's a totally different ball game. So you're going to acquire those points if you're a takedown guy. You want to make sure you're cognizant of before you're getting to that 15. If it's going to be the last takedown, take him to his back and keep him there. So we're playing. So a few more strategic games here. This is going to be Ian White going out at 190 pounds for the Beavers against Owen Schoberg of Watertown. They're going to save Vitens for up. So Ian White's got a really tough matchup here. He's a freshman that has a lot of promise. They have a lot. They're really thinking highly on him. This is a tough matchup.
Yeah. You can tell sometimes even just by looking out at these guys, just the size difference.
Oh, make no mistake, Watertown spends time in the weight room. They know what they're doing. A veteran coaching staff, Bob Logan's been there a long time. Steve Best, who led some teams to the state tournament at Hartford. So they got a good staff here. But this is part of the gamesmanship of lineup changes, and that's why it's so important who reports when, so you know who to send.
Yeah, it's almost like in hockey. You get that home ice advantage where you get that last change. Know what's going on there. That's a great little point there. And here we got Vegas Gold again.
Mm-hmm. So, some people say, well, geez, they're ducking this. There's no ducking here. And as I told Coach Winker when we were talking today, I said, you're paid to win dual meets. No different than Coach Lindy's paid to win ball games. And if you don't put your guys in position that are best suited for them to be successful, then you and I and every fan is going to have a problem with that. So you move guys around to benefit and best put your team in a position to win. Yeah, Ian had a really tough assignment, gave up a pin there, but hopefully you match that here, and you that becomes non-existent.
While it is an individual sport, it is a team sport too. So I love that point, to try to maximize for the group as a whole.
Yeah, it is an individual sport because you're out there by yourself. But make no mistake, when we're talking duels, you're here to win duels.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of old school guys out there when maybe teams weren't, the team part wasn't as big of a deal. Look, duels are fun. That's what people can understand. That's the most translatable thing to other sports. So let's go out and win those duels. Let's make those duels important. Let's make these head-to-head matchups important. But that's going to mean you're going to have to strategize. You're going to have to move rosters around. And look, every coach does it unless you have 14 hammers where you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, that's a great problem to have when that comes up.
So 5-0 here with 43 seconds left in the match. Vitens had a takedown, had a leg turk there, and had his opponent on his back, got off. Now we're back on our back. We're looking at near fall. He's got to be careful, and the reason why he's not getting a pin here, if you notice, his chest is so far up. He needs to keep his chest on his opponent's chest. He's not getting enough pressure on him. Now he's going to go to a zipper here, or a bundle of arms like we used to call it. He's got to pull that arm. What we're struggling here a little bit with is just a technique piece. He's trying different things. He's chain wrestling. He's keeping pressure on, but his positioning just isn't there, and he's not able to get that turn like he wants.
5-0 after the first period.
Vitan's going to have a choice. He's going to defer to third period. Watertown's choosing neutral. Finnegan from Watertown's a sophomore. He is 2-4 on the season. Nice single leg takedown by Vitens. Right into a half Nelson here. This is what you want, okay? But look at his chest. Look how high it is. Look how far away from the body it is. He needs to sink his chest back, chest to chest. Those big legs that he has would be a lot more powerful if it's chest to chest, and that's raw power there.
And that's what you were talking about. He dropped back. He had that butt come back down, get that chest to chest, and you get a pin out of it.
I'm telling you what, there are few wrestlers that have the physical gifts that Gavin Vitens has. If he would develop a mean streak, look out.
Nice kid.
Great kid.
Absolutely. I was going to say, we had him on the damn sports show not long ago.
Yeah, if I don't know what gets him upset. We're going to have to find that out. But if he would decide to really get after it,
he could be a problem.
He would be a problem. That's a guarantee.
Well, and here you go. We get another different singlet look here. We got it looks like black, if I'm not mistaken, with the green and yellow trim.
Yeah, so this is Mason Groh. He's typically at 215. He's coming up to heavyweight because we've pushed everybody up. Obviously, wrestling an opponent that's undersized for heavyweight as well. So this isn't your typical heavyweight match. Obviously, Mason looks a lot bigger.
You ain't kidding.
And Mason had a heck of a year in football this year. You know, that was a hard collar tie and a hard underhook. You notice it didn't phase him. Guys, that's good, hard, physical wrestling. You expect that at 215. You expect that at heavyweight. But if you're going to wrestle that way, be prepared for this.
Oh.
He's got a nice leg turkey. He's got to keep lifting that leg. Keep lifting that leg. That's going to turn the shoulders. He gets the pin.
There you go. Ryan Gerber out here, everybody. This guy knows what he's talking about, huh?
Again, good, hard, physical wrestling. But you're going to get that on the takedown, too.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess if you poke the bear, you get a little bit of that mean streak you were talking about. Wanting to see Gavin take up right there.
So here's the thing, and I used to, and we're going to go to 106, and Preston Hammond's going to come out for the Golden Beavers. Look, when you hit the wrestling mat, it's got to be different. Have you ever seen the movie Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone? It's that arm wrestling movie.
I haven't actually. I let you down.
Okay, homework for the weekend.
I'll be ready. I will have this by the time we call another wrestling meet together.
And I'm not going to say. I'm going to leave it at that. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you see it. But he says something about when he turns his head around. I'm just saying. You can be the nicest guy and the best student, and we want that. But when you hit that wrestling mat, you got to be a different person. You got to go to a different place. Yeah, you got to flip that switch. Preston Hammond just got beat to the corner on his outside single leg shot attempt. Nice shot by his opponent here, up 3-0. But Preston's got to defend that leg. Sometimes at these lighter weights, I used to say they're kind of like water bugs. They're just all over the place. A lot of times these are freshman or sophomore weight classes. You see movesets like that where they're moving so fast to get to the corner. The best 6-pounders that I had were able to get to wrist control, slow their opponent down, then we're able to get to stuff. And I think for 6, that's such an important thing compared to any other weight class, is just slowing things down, staying in front of your opponent so that you can easily defend those.
Now, at 106, is it one of those where the shorter you are and more like built stocky, is that an advantage, or would you prefer to be lanky?
It's really tough because when you're lanky as a wrestler, that poses its own unique challenges. And that's why basketball is during the winter, because all the tall wrestlers go to basketball, right?
Yeah.
But I think being tall in wrestling has its advantage. If you're in the top position, you get to legs, you can get to things easily. But on your feet, that can also pose some difficulties. Preston's in on a leg here. He's got to get his head up. He's got to keep moving. There's not a lot of pressure on him, and I know that's easier said than done, but he's got to boot scoot that knee underneath, get his hips underneath, get his head back up. He'll be in fine position here. Coach is, I shouldn't say coach because it's officiating, but official's going to call stalemate there, which is a good call. We could have wrestled that period out, but let's get them back on their feet. Let's get back to action with less than 10 seconds left. You'll notice here that Preston's keeping his hands back by his knees too. Oh. So when you're in that neutral position, you go back to third grade wrestling, and coach would show you that perfect position, hands out in front. And when you get into high school, that's kind of hokey, right? Like really, I'm going to be cool, I'm going to have my hand back. But really, keep in mind that if you're in a stance and your hands are back by your knees, if a guy shoots, you can't defend that because your hand's now trapped. So it's critically important when you're wrestling against someone that's fast, especially at 6, you keep your hands out so you can defend. Preston's in on a single leg here. He's got his knees up. He's got to get his hips underneath him. Well, his opponent went to his hip for him, so that always helps. Preston's going to come up around the hip, keep turning that corner for a nice takedown, up 4-3 with 1:33 left.
One of my favorite things is seeing going from heavyweight to 106 right after, just the complete contrast in styles. You go from one size to another.
And for a long time, we didn't have that, right? We would start at the lightweights, go to the heavyweights. Now it's changed. Preston's in on an arm bar here. He's got a wrist and an arm bar. If he's going to be that high, he's got to go around that head a little bit more. He's got to take some big steps. I would like to see him pull his opponent over his knee, kind of stretch him out and rerun it. That would lengthen his opponent out. And all he has to do is take his knee. Well, he's going to a tilt here, but take his right knee, put it in front of his opponent's left knee, stretch him out with that, and then run him again. But he's going to try to take him over his neck, and that's a lot harder to do. If you can't get him broken down, you got to stretch him out. We used to call it swing. Swing your partner, because you're going to put your knee in front like a fulcrum and swing him around your knee. And now he gets to his feet, and the ref's correctly going to call potentially dangerous there. And it's called potentially dangerous because if Preston took him to the mat that way, the kid can't stop himself from hitting. He can't protect himself.
So even though it looks like he might have got, unfortunately, taken away from a point, it's about his safety at the end of the day.
Correct. And over the last 10 to 15 years, wrestling has really cleaned up to make it a very safe sport. So Preston's got a far side arm bar. He's looking for a half, which I really like this. But again, he's out of position.
And that's that suicide roll kind of that you were talking about?
Correct. So, if you're going to run an arm bar and a half, that's another position when they're up on their knees like that, you got to swing it and stretch this guy out. And again, this is why we don't run halves or arm bars from a knee position. That's why we break people down. But if you're going to run it when they're up on their knees, you got to stretch them out over that knee, use your knee as a fulcrum, and then drive them over. And that's something, hey, it's early in the season. You got to remind these guys they're still high school kids. And that's something I'm sure they're going to be working on later this year.
Now, what is your strategy here? You're on the bottom. You do have a 1-point lead. Is this quickly get to your feet?
Yes.
That's exactly what we're doing to get a quick escape?
I always want to wrestle from my feet. My philosophy is you're always better on your feet. There's too many bad things that can happen here. You can see Preston's laying flat. He just got called for stalling. I was just getting there. There's too many bad things that can happen when you're on the bottom. Get out of there. Get back on your offense. You've taken him down. You've ridden him out well. You can't ride unless you take him down. I mean, I suppose you get a reversal here, but let's get to our feet.
Now, you mentioned the stalling there. Is there a stalling warning first before points are awarded?
That's correct. A warning followed by points.
So
you can give up one.
Like 10 seconds or so? How does that work, or is it just a ref's judgment at that point?
Referees will never say there's a time number on there.
Okay.
It's really a subjective call depending on what's going on. This type of situation, later in the year, you might see more of a stalemate call in order to get wrestling going as we're getting into elimination stuff. They're going to let this wrestle out here. But again, I'll go back to your original question. Where do you want to be? I want to be on my feet. At worst case, and so he's going to prove me wrong because now he's going head hunting
out.
And if he can poke his head out, he's got a pin because he's going to drive him forward. He's got to shake his head out. Shake that arm out, start swimming.
There it is.
Stroke, half, right there. Let's get the pin with 15 seconds.
This feels massive for the match here. If he can finish it off.
Oh, boy. He's going to get 3 near. Did he give 3 or 4? He gave 3 and a reversal. That should be 6-5. But that's enough to hold on and get a decision here, 6-3. Nice job by little Preston Hammond.
What a little bout there we had at 106. Extending Beaver Dam's lead as a team to 33-15.
Yeah, and the one thing I will say about Preston, when we watched him last year, he was undersized. He's about 85 pounds, wrestling up to 106. And they would throw him into these situations knowing that he had one of the biggest hearts on the team. He was one of the hardest kids you'd ever see getting pinned. So even though he was outweighed, he stayed off his back and saved team points for the team. So I'm not surprised that he's in a dogfight like that, and I'm not surprised he was able to pull out a 1-point win.
So we move on to 113 now. Again, Beaver Dam has a 33-15 lead. We're waiting just for the scoreboard up here to update with us.
So this is Liam Surface of Beaver Dam. He is a freshman, 3 and 4 coming in the year. And I apologize to everybody listening. I just realized I've got all these notes. I've got records. I haven't said any of them. So sorry, it is the first match for me as
exactly.
well.
I was going to say, this is the first time we're both out here together. We're going to have a couple hiccups here and there.
Yeah, they're going to deduct my my announcing pay here.
I don't know. You're putting up with me. I think it might be a bonus for you.
I feel like I'm sitting next to a local celebrity. You've been here such a short time. You got your own show that runs daily. You're running every sport. So Liam Surface, freshman, 3 and 4 on the season, taking on Tegan Stavarius, 3 and 3 sophomore. So 2 young kids wrestling at 113 pounds. This is one of those 50-50 matches.
Let's hope we get another one going the right way for our Golden Beavers tonight.
And keep in mind, we start at 144, so we've got 113, 120, 126, 132, and 138 yet to go. So 5 matches. That's that. I think you were going to call that I don't know what we're going to call it. It was kind of all over the place. It was kind of like a fireman's carry. Whatever we're going to call it, it was effective for the Goslings. They're going to get 3 points on a takedown here. And you'll notice we're wrestling on the edge. Great shot of it. I don't know if the camera could see that, but we're wrestling on the edge of the mat. Both guys are off, and the Watertown wrestler's literally dragging the side of his foot to just stay in.
Just need that 1 point of contact on the ground, as you said earlier. As we see, a minute in here, 3-0 lead.
Yeah, and if you haven't spent a lot of time watching college wrestling, the change in the out-of-bounds rules really transformed that wrestling style, and it's become a really exciting match. So later this year in February and March, when you're seeing the Big Tens on TV or the national tournament, I encourage you to watch it because the amount of action that's going on is just incredible. We're hoping to see that at the high school level, and we're already starting to see some glimpses of it as guys are wrestling at the edge. In the past, guys would get to the edge and it was kind of like a stall position or a way to avoid wrestling. Now they're not going to be able to do it. And as I'm talking about nothing, we get a reversal and a pin by the freshman.
What a change of events there. Like you said, reversal. Was that right into the half there?
Right into a
pin?
half, yeah. And those are game-changer things. It's one thing to get a reversal, but get a reversal and immediately look for points. And that's just smart wrestling. That's experienced wrestling. You can tell they're well coached. So this is Bryson Bustler, 5-1 from Watertown at 120 pounds. He's a sophomore. He's going to be taking on Landon Johnson, a junior here at 120 pounds. This is going to be a tough match. Bustler's a good wrestler. He's in on a shot right away, but Johnson's doing a nice job defending, and he's finding himself in a front headlock position. He did give a takedown. He gave a takedown quick with an escape quick on the edge of the mat. I'm not sure the Watertown coaches like that, but that's okay. I mean, look, that was quick. It is what it is. I'm not sure what we were trying there. That's I don't think coaches, the Beaver Dam coaches, like that. You got 3-1. You're on the edge of the mat. But this is what I'll say. Johnson's being aggressive. He's finding things. He's taking advantage. Bustler's back in on a shot. You know, Johnson's been doing a nice job. Bustler's getting out on legs, but he's doing a nice job defending immediately, and he's turning that into more wrestling opportunities. That's great. Bustler here, if he can get that leg free, he's going to have a takedown with the arm or the leg hooked. And again, this would be off the mat in past years. We're still wrestling. That should be two there. Or excuse me, two. That should be a takedown, but hasn't been awarded. 49 seconds to go. There it is.
Was it the leg that was holding that up there?
Johnson controlling or defending with his arm was really holding that up. Once you're behind both the shoulder and you have the leg hook, that's textbook 2 or 3.
Takes a little while to get used to that, changing from 2 to 3. Just still first year you said?
I mean, for all these years, I'm not going to say how many years, but for all these years, it's been 2. So, if a slip, if you will.
That was my first question I asked you when we came in tonight. I'm like, I wrestled, but it was 2012.
Yeah.
It was 2 points then. What's changed? And that was the first thing you told me. It's going to look a little bit different.
Yeah, and here I'm telling you, and then I'm screwing it up on the broadcast. Hey, here's a nice escape. We're tied 4-4. 13 seconds left. And what I like about this is Johnson, he gets an escape and he comes right back in offense. He's defending there. He's back in on a shot, on a defensive shot, but he's in on a shot. He's got a leg. 2 seconds left. He can't give anything up. He's got to keep his hands locked. He's going to keep the match tied at 4 apiece going into the second.
Now, with both of these guys getting a takedown at this point, what would you be doing if you were the coach and you win the toss here?
I'd do just what Winker did there. I'd be deferring because the way this is going to be a 3-period match. So you want that choice in third. You want to have the ability to make that decision. Do I go down? Do I need to go somewhere else? What you can't have is what just happened there, a takedown right away. That was another quick takedown, another escape. So we're 7-5. We got to go behind here. Stop going for the head steal here and just get the head down and go behind. When you get an opponent's hands and knees on the mat there, you got to score points. And I know looking for the big throw would put you in a position to pin there and excite the crowd, sure, but you got to score points here. Same thing here. Just guy takes a shot like that, just snap him forward, go behind, get your 3 points, and now you're riding. We're on outside position. You'll see a good shot here. We're on outside. They're on inside position. And that allows Bustler to take a shot there. If we're on outside position on the outside elbows, it's really easy for him to defend. When we move inside our tie and we control the inside, now we can open up windows for shots that are much easier. Watertown has done a really nice job in their neutral positions fighting to inside ties. A nice shot with a head out on the outside. And if he comes up, he's going to give him 2 there. And Bustler's going to have a leg turk. He should keep this leg turk. He's going to let it go. But if he keeps that leg turk, that forces the body to be halfway turned anyway. So you've seen it a couple times where guys will take a shot. They'll take their opponent down to the mat. They'll end up with their legs laced between. That's a leg turk. You can only turn your torso so much. And now we're in position here with a reverse half. Leg is hooked here. Johnson's got 12 seconds to keep himself from getting pinned here. He's got to keep fighting. Can't give up those bonus points. It's going to get tough here. Got to keep that elbow up. He's posting. 2 seconds left. He gives up the pin. That's a tough assignment. That's a very good wrestler on Watertown's team there. Team scores 39-21 now.
Now, I was going to ask you, Ryan, as we look, are we playing more into the Watertown part of their roster that they're going to be excited about, or is this still a good position for Beaver Dam to pick up some team points?
Well, you got 26 here, you got 32 and 38, so you got 3 matches here. One of those matches is Avery Femray. If I'm the Beavers, I feel pretty good.
That should be points.
Yeah. And this kid here, this is Hudson Henschel. He's come in with a whole lot of interest. He's had a pretty decorated youth career coming in as a freshman. There's a lot of promise for him. He's at a tough weight. 26 is one of those weight classes that's always tough. There's always good wrestlers. So they've got a lot of hope for him. I think, he's a kid you could see moving down a weight class by the end of the year, but we'll see. You never step over there, but he was making it work. You don't like stepping over there. You're just hip heist away. There's an injury here.
And we are going to step aside for a McKinstry's timeout. We will be back in 30 or 60 seconds right after this.
The Spartans have arrived. Spartan Flooring is here to serve with prices from another time. Get the lowest prices anywhere on name brand carpet and LVP. Save hundreds or more per room without sacrificing the quality. Spartan Flooring makes designing easy with a carefully curated selection tailored to local paint colors and wood stains. Whether you're sprucing up a house to sell or settling in for the next 20 years, get the best prices in town. Call, text, or email to schedule a free, no-cost, no-obligation measurement and assessment. Visit SpartanFloorings.com and prepare to be floored.
White Construction is cheering on our student athletes in the community, and they want you on their winning team too. They're expanding and looking for passionate individuals who want to build their future as a team. Join a company that values teamwork, excellence, and community spirit. They're now hiring for multiple positions around Wisconsin, including general labor, fieldwork, and heavy equipment operators. Visit congruix.com to apply today and step up to the plate with White Construction. Let's build something great together.
And we are back here. 39-21 team score. We're 30 seconds into this match at 126.
So Henschel was able to bounce back there. Looked like they were able to fix whatever was there. Wrestling at the edge of the mat in that stand-up position. Again, in years past, these guys would be out of bounds. We're still wrestling with the new changes, and that's big for a guy like Henschel in this position because, again, time's just running. Whereas we'd get a restart and back to center. So, obviously looking to sit, more of a switch kind of wrestler. And again, you're seeing a few of those from some of our younger wrestlers. But we got to get to our feet. Stand-up is the number one escape, not only in college but in the world. And that's always been the case. And you want to get there, get your one, get back on your offense, score points.
You're all good. I got you. 27 seconds left in the first period here. It is 3-0 for the Watertown Goslings in this match.
Top man's called for stalling here. He's just they switched the call. Bottom man got called for stalling. That'd be Henschel. Just kind of putting his head on the mat. Now this is nice. He went to a stand-up, which turned into a bit of a switch action. Now we're into a defensive position, just kind of sprawling up.
The Beaver Dam Unified School District is committed to its strategic plan and actions that result in growth and achievement for students in our community. For more information on the school success plans and the strategic efforts grounded in supporting academic excellence and social emotional fortitude, please visit our website or contact your child's principal.
Some good wrestling here. Some good just defensive scrapping on the mat. I apologize, Wally. My voice is starting to go. from this week. So
you've been unbelievable. I appreciate you toughing it out with me tonight.
So for anybody that's been annoyed with this random person that keeps coughing, I'm going to need some more home remedies here.
I kid you not. I am sitting next to Ryan Gerber, and we have maybe 50 Hall's cough drops sitting in between us that he is treating at this point like they're Willy Wonka's like gumdrops.
Yeah, they might as well be jelly beans at this point. Nice reversal here. Again, get your feet, get the escape, which he did. Get on your offense, which puts you in a position to take the lead back. He's got to get his hips in. See that? You know, he's focusing on that ankle, which is good. He's trying to hook the ankle, which is good. We got to get our hips in here. In. There it is. In. Break him down to a hip. 45 seconds left in the second period. He's got a leg in, but he's got to push across there. Look to cross faces his opponent to drive him back to his shoulder. And this is a tough position. Now, Hudson has to be careful there. He's already been called for stalling once. If he's going to throw in a leg, if he's going to wrestle crossbody, which you don't see a lot anymore, but if you're going to go crossbody ride with a leg, you have to stay active. You can't just sit on top because you will get hit for stalling.
Well, we saw him go down with an injury about 30 seconds into this match. We see him a little shaken up there as an opponent. When you see that, is that kind of like ringing the dinner bell, so to speak?
Yeah, it's got to be blood in the water if you're Watertown. So this is a freshman mistake, and I don't care how much wrestling you've had. That's a freshman mistake. Got way out of position. Oh, and the Watertown wrestler he had a leg turk, and fortunately for Henschel, he ran out of time there, but it looked like a near side cradle coming, and he was in trouble. His legs were turned. Kid had an arm hook on the leg, and the head. It was tough. Bottom Watertown wrestler chose down there. We're going to let him up, give him his point, get to our feet, wrestle offensive. Third period.
Well, now with that 3 points for a takedown, it makes sense. But unfortunately, it goes to the other side.
See, that's tough right there.
When you can tell he's just not really himself right now after that injury. He's been a little slow every time there's been a whistle, and regrettably for him, Watertown is taking.
And now he got hit for stalling, and the reason he got hit for stalling is he's sitting there, he's not making an effort to wrestle, get away. He's got his head down to the mat. Now he goes to a stand-up, but he got called for stalling because of the situation he stayed in. Oh, boy. I'm getting updates from Wade Bates. So over at the hockey rink, at the end of the second period, it's Beaver Dam 5, Metrolinx 0.
Let's go.
Brenna Rhodes has 4 goals. Addie Damon has 1. Emily Smita has 19 saves. So, when we're done here, switch over. But now you know.
Yeah, now you know. I'm telling you what, Brenna Rhodes, 4th most points in the entire state right now.
Now we got stalling on Watertown there, just holding on a leg. And you know what? He's got a 10-4 lead, a 6-point lead. He's in the top position. If you're Watertown, you really want him to get a couple near fall swipes here so you can get to those bonus points. But really, at this point in the duel for Watertown, you needed pins.
Yeah.
If you wanted to crawl back into it.
So because of obviously talking about that team first, is it okay at this point, because he is banged up, if you see him like stalling down bottom right now, feels a little out of reach, what are you doing?
If I'm Beaver Dam, I want him to keep wrestling, especially with him being a freshman. I want to see him score some points here, and that's what you want right there. Yeah, Watertown, you can live with some stuff. You don't want this to get out of hand, but if you're Beaver Dam, you like this energy, you like this offense, you like this come from behind. The question is, where was this earlier?
Yeah. And how much do you take out of this? Because we did see that injury in the first. He gritted through it. How do you evaluate that as a coach or as a former coach?
I look at it like this. We're going to watch the film. We're going to see that we got out of position, gave up some reversals. I like the offense at the end of the match, and my message is we need to be on that offense earlier. He went down with an injury, but he came back and wrestled the whole match, so that's good. But at the same time, let's get to our offense early because he has the ability to score points. The other thing is we have to score on the bottom. We used to teach that power ball thing power ball move where your head's on the mat and you come up to stand up, and it looked like he was working that a little bit, but you can't sit. You have to get that position and bust up.
Keep working,
but force the action from the top man as well. So here's Avery Femwright at 132 pounds. Again, he took 6th place last year at the state tournament. Senior, coming off an injury in football. So interested to see how he moves here.
Undefeated on the young season to this point, 7-0. You mentioned the 6th place finish last year at the state tournament. You can see that size and strength very early in this one.
The one thing I really like with Avery is he just keeps moving. There's never a moment where he's not going to give everything he's got at that time. He's a hardworking kid, and really the hope is after how he finished the year last year, hopefully that is a springboard to this year and in the practice room really working. You obviously want to get back, but you want to improve on that 6th place finish. So what do you need to do to improve your game in order to make yourself 1, 2, 3, 4 spots better, 5 spots better?
Ooh, he has him in a good position here.
Yeah, and right there, okay, so that is perfect example of wrestling in position. Kid sat out, Avery caught him. That's an experienced wrestler, a wrestler that has the advantage, just being in better position and capitalizing. And the Beavers have a 45-24 team score. This is excuse me, my mistake.
You're fine.
The Beavers have a 45-24 lead going into the last match of the night. And they're going to send Braden Laneville out there.
Well, and that Femwright double leg takedown to start that match is going to be our Napleton 151 takedown of the match tonight. Got to see him give up that quick escape after, but get another takedown before finishing him off with that pin to give Beaver Dam a 45-24 lead here as we go into the 138 matchup.
And so obviously, no matter how this matchup ends, Beaver Dam's going to win this match. They're going to move to 2-0 in the conference. And that's a big deal for this team. Last year they had really hoped to win a conference title. They scratched out a victory at Watertown. They lost an uncharacteristic match to Wanakee at Wanakee by, I believe, a point. And so how this team continues to come together as they get more guys in the lineup. They've got a couple guys still missing that are going to be big hitters for them. How they handle that excuse me, how they handle that, how they come together, and how they continue to get better is really going to be the key. I do think this is a team that has the ability to compete for that conference title, but they got to peak at the right time. They can't be wrestling their best matches now. They gotta be wrestling their best matches once they get to February. By the way, this is Laneville staying in good position. He's got his head up on the outside. He's stuck with it. The one thing you notice that he was doing that other wrestlers were having a hard time earlier is he was keeping his head up, which forced his hips to stay underneath him. He stayed in that good tackle position. Last year and the year before, I've really emphasized on this, that if you want to become a better football player, you come out for wrestling, because literally we tackle every single day, multiple times, and the same good tackling position, that head-up tackling position, hips underneath us, athletic position, the same things that Coach Lindy's teaching on the football field are the same things that Coach Winker wants here. And so, if you're not a wrestling guy, just look at this as football off-season workouts.
Couldn't agree more. I was going to say those 3-hour workouts those stairs, all that stuff, all that individual prep, it all comes back and it shows up right now.
And I know, you look at college recruiting. Obviously, you want your running or your receivers to be basketball guys. You want your D-backs to be basketball guys, but you want your linemen, you want your tailbacks, you want your linebackers, those gritty guys to be
strong base,
to be wrestlers. And by the way, we'll take some offensive linemen there as wrestlers too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Need the big fellas involved.
Landeville's doing a real nice job here. Since the takedown, he's doing a nice job riding. He's got to stay behind, though. As soon as I complimented him on his ride.
Yep, with less than 10 seconds left, too.
Two minutes left in the second period here to start. Landeville's going to start on the bottom. Beaver Dam's Braden Landeville's up 3-1 going into second period here. So we don't want to be on our hips. We don't want to let that arm get straightened out there and possibly open up for a coffee grinder. Bad things here. Get to your feet. Good things happen when you get to your feet. Get up to your feet. Keep coming up. Now you got to get your hips out. Got to get your hips out. This Watertown wrestler threw a leg in that allowed us to be chopped down to the mat. And now he's looking for like a suicide cradle type deal. This is a little out of position here, Wally.
Sure.
And he's loose.
Yeah, and that's what happens, right? When that suicide cradle, if you don't capitalize on it.
Again, if there's anybody watching tonight that has eligibility left, I would say if you want to be a great wrestler, you got to have the technique, yes. You got to have the work ethic, yes. The difference between good and great is positioning. And, because everybody at a high level has the heart, they have the work ethic, they lift all the weights, they do all the conditioning, they hit all the reps.
How do you separate yourself?
Do you stay in good position when it matters? And there are some guys that can wrestle the funky stuff and be all over the place, but the best wrestlers always stay in good position. They don't get themselves caught, even in big situations. They stay sound. And, you've seen it here a couple times tonight where guys have gotten high, they've gotten out of position, and Beaver Dam has taken advantage in many of those cases. Now, Landeville's still considered in the top controlling position here, even though they're on the feet. Now it's an escape.
So what is it that constitutes a escape there versus letting it play out while he still is in the top position with that leg?
Control, just control.
Just that ankle
he had
control?
that. He started in the top. He had the leg that's still considered control. Once that was completely broken, now there's no control. That is the end of the second period. Landeville's going to be up 5-2 going into the third period with Watertown choosing. So Watertown had choice in the third, and the wrestler looked over his coaches and they said, "No, you choose. Where do you feel comfortable?" And he said top. And there was a little chuckle over there. And this happens because oftentimes when you're down 3, don't choose top unless you're a great turn guy or a great pin guy. So we'll see. Maybe he's got a great cradle. Maybe he's got some leg stuff. Maybe he's got some tilts. We'll see.
Because I would imagine typically you would be taking probably standing up there or even on the bottom getting an escape, and then you're in a position to take the lead with the takedown.
The book says that if you get choice in third period, you choose down so you can get an escape and get away. Unless, of course, the guy you're wrestling is incredibly tough on top, then you don't choose down. In this case, Watertown chose top, and Beaver Dam got an escape, and now that 3-point lead turns into 4.
Two-possession game, basically.
Yeah. And so that's top wrestling is very difficult if you're not very good at it. And so, when I was coaching, and you'll see this a lot later in the year, if a guy chooses top, you're telling the guy, watch cradle, watch legs. We didn't see either one of those.
Yeah. Now, is that just probably inexperience here
That's
as a
probably
wrestler taking that decision?
And you know what? Got
to live and learn.
That's okay, too. You know, it's an early season matchup. You got to find out, what is it that you want? What is it that you're good at? Lanaville got called for stalling, and a point was given up. So now he's only up 3. Yeah, Watertown needs a takedown, and this match is tied. Lanaville's in on a body lock here because Watertown's wrestler went for a head steal, and they went out of bounds.
Now 16 seconds left. From the Watertown perspective,
you need a takedown.
You need a takedown, but like for Beaver Dam, is it stall? You just keep your legs back behind you? What are you doing?
If I am Coach Winker, I'm saying circle, keep your hands up. You can give up. He gave up another stall call,
but now you gotta
you're okay there. You gotta sprawl here. You gotta sprawl. Keep that whizzer. Boy, oh boy. That got tight. 6-4 win. Lanaville's going to have a nice win there. Beaver Dam's going to add 3 more points to the team score. The final's going to be 48-24. Beavers over Goslings.
And we are going to step aside here for a short 3-minute break. When we come back, we're going to break down what we just saw, and before long, we're going to have Coach Winker coming up here and speaking with our own Ryan Gerber. We will be right back here on Daily Dodge TV.
Your Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly in Beaver Dam knows that Wisconsinites take tailgating seriously, and they'll help you take it to the next level with their award-winning Fox Brothers brats and everything you need, whether you're at the game or enjoying it at home. Fox Brothers award-winning exclusive recipes use only the highest quality ingredients you'll taste with every bite and every brat. Try their 11 Grand Champion brats and sausages, including their pre-cooked Fox Brothers original brats, spicy Southwest chicken brats, and Philly cheese brats. Check them out online at foxbrospigglywiggley.com.
Cheer. Now cheer louder. Any accomplishment worth doing is worth doing with all your heart and soul. The entire team at Hometown Glass and Improvement knows that dedication, time, and respect can lead to greatness. When practicing free throws, running for a touchdown, or installing new windows and doors, it is commitment to something larger than oneself that creates a legacy. So keep cheering for your hometown team. Hometown Glass and Improvement online at hometownglass.com.
The gang's all here.
Chris,
Adam,
and Abby Klodowski, here to say Klodowski Real Estate is honored and grateful to have been voted Dodge County's best real estate firm, best realtor, and favorite realtor for 2024.
We love living and working in Dodge County, all of the wonderful people we serve, and the opportunity to give back to our community.
Thank you, Dodge County. Thank you.
Klodowski Real Estate, your trusted real estate advisors.
Jerry's Automotive in Beaver Dam is a champion of our local schools. Team up with Jerry's Automotive by pumping your gas at their Spirit Pump, where 2 cents of every gallon is donated to a local school each month. Jerry's Automotive also provides exceptional vehicle service and repairs and a great selection of convenience items. Visit Jerry's Automotive Center WI.com and on Facebook. Jerry's Automotive, 700 North Spring Street in Beaver Dam, across the street from Beaver Dam Food Pride.
When it comes to a winning lineup, turn to the selection of new and pre-owned vehicles at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam. Their team goes the extra mile to provide a winning experience, from hassle-free financing options to exceptional customer service. It's like having a dedicated cheering section cheering you on in every step of the vehicle purchase. Give the team at Napleton GM in Beaver Dam a call at 920-885-3301 or visit napleton151.com and find new roads with their winning inventory.
Play garage music.
Silica can make any home a smart home. Whole home wiring, speakers, and smart control make your home an oasis that anticipates your every need. Whether you're seeking comfort, entertainment, peace of mind, inspiration, or just a moment of tranquility. Existing or new construction, Silica has the skill to make any home a smart home. Silica for your home.
Hey, it's Stacy with Slumberland, Beaver Dam in Watertown. Stop in and see everything that our store has to offer. We built it just for you. We have mattresses, box springs, power bases, bedroom sets, furniture, living room sets, dining sets, everything that you would need to complete your entire home. We've got our interest-free financing and a really great local staff here to help you. So you've got all local people here to help you out from start to finish for anything that you would need. So stop in, shop local, and save big with us.
The Spartans have arrived. Spartan Flooring is here to serve with prices from another time. Get the lowest prices anywhere on name brand carpet and LVP. Save hundreds or more per room without sacrificing the quality. Spartan Flooring makes designing easy with a carefully curated selection tailored to local paint colors and wood stains. Whether you're sprucing up a house to sell or settling in for the next 20 years, get the best prices in town. Call, text, or email to schedule a free, no-cost, no-obligation measurement and assessment. Visit SpartanFloorings.com and prepare to be floored.
White Construction is cheering on our student athletes in the community, and they want you on their winning team too. They're expanding and looking for passionate individuals who want to build their future as a team. Join a company that values teamwork, excellence, and community spirit. They're now hiring for multiple positions around Wisconsin, including general labor, fieldwork, and heavy equipment operators. Visit congruix.com to apply today and step up to the plate with White Construction. Let's build something great together.
And we're back here at the Beaver Dam Fieldhouse with the winning coach, Coach Tim Winker here of the Golden Beavers. Tim, you had a rival in alumni night. Just talk about tonight's win and what that means for your team, your season, and your program.
I mean, we're wrestling a team that's coming off team sectionals last year in a duel against Hartford to go to team state that they, by all rights, should have won. It came down to a match that they kind of got caught, and that's the quality team that they're returning this year. So to come out of here, double up their score, win 8-9 matches is pretty big. So very proud of the way our guys wrestled tonight. I thought we wrestled with a lot of grit, a lot of toughness, and that's, as a wrestling coach, it's always what you're looking for.
Now, we talked about it a little bit on the broadcast, a bunch of guys wrestling out of position. We're going to talk to one of those guys here in a little bit, but just talk about a little bit of the strategy, and both teams did it, moving guys out of projected weights, or what was that part, just explaining for somebody who maybe isn't as used to seeing that as others.
So when we're looking at lineups, obviously you know who the other team's best wrestlers in. So if we look at 190, for example, they got a kid named Owen Schoberg who's returning third place state finisher. While I'd like to think my guys can beat them, it's being kind isn't always. You got to be honest and you got to win matches. Is the bottom line. So looking at our 190 and our 215, when we moved them up, I knew we were going to win at 215 and 285. So you give 6, you're going to give up 6, but then you're looking to get 12 points back. You go across those 3 weights, now you're plus 6. Had we wrestled it straight up, there's a good chance they win at 190, we win at 215, and then I don't know what happens at heavyweight. So
most important thing is going 2-0 in conference today, but you don't get to wait till next week. You got to wrestle tomorrow. Just talk a little bit about tomorrow.
Tomorrow is a very tough tournament. Battle on the Bay up in Bayport, 32 teams. You got some of the best teams in the state. You got Luxembourg, Casco. You got Bayport just to start off the top. But anytime you bring 32 teams into one gym, just by volume alone, it's going to be a tough tournament. So it's going to be a grind all day tomorrow. Everybody's going to get 5 matches. We're going to be wrestling from about 9:30 in the morning till 8-9 o'clock at night. So it's going to be a long day for everyone, and hopefully we stay healthy and grind and get better.
And on that one, we'll get you out of here so you can get some sleep. Best of luck. Congratulations on the night. We're going to turn it over to senior Liam Grunwald. Liam was slated to wrestle 150 tonight, bounced up to 157. Going into your match, Liam, we had lost 2 matches going into it. Just talk about that situation. Your team has lost 2. Your coach has said, we're bumping you up. Kind of go, what's going on in your head at that time?
Just thinking I need the win and just do what's right for the team, just getting that 6 points, just wrestling my best match, just trying to win it for them.
So the rules changed a little bit. 2-point takedown versus 3-point. How does that, now you're a senior, so you've wrestled 3 years of high school under the old rules. How does that possibly change your strategy a little bit?
Just try to get more takedowns, get more back points, just try to score as many points and Just try to outwork your opponent.
We got to open up the home slate against Watertown, a rival.
Yep.
It's alumni night. Your dad was walked across the mat. Just kind of explain what that kind of was like under the lights, alumni night, and you get the first win of the dual meet.
Yeah, it's just really exciting just seeing my dad just trying to follow in his footsteps, just trying to be as good as him, just doing it for the team, doing it for everyone here tonight.
And shout out to Grandpa, who I'm sure is watching at home. Kurt, I hope you're watching. Well, we can't wait to have you back. Nice job tonight, Liam. Best of luck this weekend, okay?
Thank you.
So, again, I'm going to throw it back over to Wally, but a great night for Beaver Dam Wrestling. We'll come back after this break, and we'll just summarize what we saw tonight.
The Spartans have arrived. Spartan Flooring is here to serve with prices from another time. Get the lowest prices anywhere on name brand carpet and LVP. Save hundreds or more per room without sacrificing the quality. Spartan Flooring makes designing easy with a carefully curated selection tailored to local paint colors and wood stains. Whether you're sprucing up a house to sell or settling in for the next 20 years, get the best prices in town. Call, text, or email to schedule a free, no-cost, no-obligation measurement and assessment. Visit SpartanFloorings.com and prepare to be floored.
Are you ready for peace of mind? Chad Guzzi here, owner of Air Care in Beaver Dam. If you're tired of unexpected repair bills, you want to sign up for our Total Care plan. It ensures top performance and prolonged life of your heating and air conditioning equipment. Air Care's Total Care customers receive annual inspections as well as a reduced maintenance rate, plus a 10% discount on all service repairs. Air Care, big enough to serve you, small enough to care. 920-356-8860.
There's power in your smile. It can make or break a day, start a conversation, even double a dose of courage. Columbus Family Dental is committed to protecting your grin ear to ear. Young and old, orthodontics to cosmetics, we're here to make it that much easier to share your smile. Columbus Family Dental, now accepting every kind of smile.
We're back here at Beaver Dam High School. Beaver Dam takes down Watertown 48-24. Make Moraine Park Technical College your first choice for an education tailored to your success and growth with campuses in Beaver Dam, Fond du Lac, and West Bend. Visit morainepark.edu/first choice. Beaver Dam Unified School District is one of the largest employers in the region. Their compensation and benefit packages are among the most competitive in the area. If you have a passion for serving children or know someone who does, please consider applying to be a part of a great team that works together in common purpose on behalf of kids and of our community. Winter Sports and Wrestling on Daily Dodge TV is presented by Napleton 151, JB Mechanical, Gruber Law Office. We are back here again. Ryan Gerber joining me. Fantastic job tonight, battling through that cough. I can feel it. You were awesome with those Hall's cough drops next to you. Got to see a heck of a win and possibly a sweep of a triple-header tonight for Beaver Dam.
Well, thanks, Wally. Yeah, I apologize for all of that, and as I even say that, I'm about tapped out. But great win by the wrestling team tonight. Take down a rival. It's a match they needed for a couple different things. It keeps them alive in the conference race as a team. All of those wins we got individually, that's head-to-head wins that you're going to see later in the year at the conference tournament and in the regional. So a lot of good things, and I think they wrestled well. I mean, there were things they have to clean up, but it is only the second week of the season, so they're going to have to clean that up.
A lot of things that they can improve on, but so many positives to look back on. We had just talked a moment ago, down 9-0 going into that third match. Down, I think it was 5-1 in that match too.
Yeah.
Fast change of pace, all of a sudden you get a pin, and it feels like it completely changed that mojo and momentum going into the Golden Beavers' favor.
And Liam, we kind of talked about it. He just said, I got to wrestle my match, and he's a senior. He comes from a wrestling family, so those things you hope don't rattle them, and certainly didn't. And that was a big win to start the year, or the night off, and led to a lot of momentum. Now, speaking of momentum, we don't usually get to say this, but Beaver Dam had 3 teams going tonight, and it looks like it's going to be a three-peat. So we just got the text from Mike Thronson, the voice of Dodge County here. Mike Thronson said that the Beaver Dam girls basketball team, who was down at Watertown, won 43-26 tonight. Donaldson had 15, Jelka with 11, and Ashley with 8. Wade, who's over at the Family Center, hasn't responded yet, but the last text we got was the end of the second period. Beaver Dam girls hockey was up on the Metro Lynx 5-0. Metro Lynx were a team that knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Brenna Rhodes, which you mentioned, already had 4 goals at that point. Addie Damon with the other, and Smeedham had 19 saves. So as long as the girls hockey holds on, it's going to be that elusive three-peat sweep.
And boy, does that feel good. Might I point out, too, because I mentioned to you before, I wrestled in 2012. I'm watching these guys roll up this mat with ease. I know you know what I'm about to say. I remember when these things were 6 feet apart, and you had to, like, jam your elbow into it, trying to get it to roll up, all just to tape it down.
Yeah.
This is crazy. When did this happen?
They're just tougher than we are.
Apparently.
Yeah,
I'm seeing those little crevices making life easy. I'm like, man, we missed out.
Yeah, and it's the funny thing is they have one of those old school mats, but that stays in the wrestling room. It doesn't come out. So.
Sure. All right. Well, that's great. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining me. I'm looking forward to doing more of these. By the end of the year, maybe I'll actually be able to talk a little bit, know what I'm talking about at least. But you're fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, excited to work with you, Wally, and excited to get back out here. We'll be here next Friday for another big one. We got Milton coming to town. And Milton, the perennial power, and I know they've built back up, so that'll be a huge matchup, again for conference, but against the traditional blue blood. And then later in the year, we'll see Lodi here, another traditional blue blood. So, again, if you got season tickets, you really got your money's worth this year for wrestling, so looking forward to it.
Absolutely. We're going to continue our coverage throughout the year, watching Beaver Dam chase a conference title in wrestling. But thank you so much for joining me, Ryan. And now we have to remind everybody that Winter Sports is brought to you on Daily Dodge TV. As I fumbled my papers in front of me, Wrestling on Daily Dodge TV is presented by Napleton 151, JB Mechanical, Gruber Law Office, McKinstry's Home Furnishings, Columbus Family Dental, Hometown Glass and Improvement, Kladowski Real Estate, Slumberland, Pizza Ranch, Park Village Shopping Center, Richards Insurance, Preferred Dental Partners, Napleton 151, Fox Brothers Piggly Wiggly, Gruber Law, Air Care, Jerry's BP, Silica for Your Home, Moraine Park Technical College, Beaver Dam Unified School District, White Construction, and Spartan Flooring. The Beaver Dam Golden Beavers go to 2-0 on the young season of wrestling. They will be back in action for that duel or for that tournament tomorrow. But follow along on dailydodge.com this year. We will have all of those matchups and recaps there. Thank you for joining us tonight, and have a great night, everybody. Happy holidays to everyone.
You're watching the Daily Dodge postgame show.